I got queens. If you watched my video the other day of the queen problem in my bee yard, I told you I was gonna call David at Barnyard Bees, and I did. As soon as I got back to the house, I looked the phone number up and sent him a text, asked him if he had queens. He said he did, just to call the store the next day and they'd get them on the way. That was Wednesday afternoon. Thursday morning, I called, ordered my queens. Today is Saturday and they were in the mail. So I'm gonna go get them in these hives, and I'll show you what the process is for that. And let me show you, these are, they package them really well. Of course, they come in a queen cage with a bunch of attendants in each cage, so that they take care of them on the way. They came priority mail. They do a really good job packaging them. They label the outside of the priority mail box really well, letting the post office know that it's live bees in there. They even put my phone number on the outside, and the postmaster called me this morning because the post office's tracking system said these weren't going to be here until Monday, and they still show them out in the middle of the state somewhere when I just looked. So the post office tracking isn't quite as good as FedEx or UPS, but anyway, the postmaster at my local post office called me this morning and said she had my queens in the mail. So we went and got them. But here they are. They package them, like I said, they package them really well in a priority mail box, and they staple the 3 boxes together so that they don't move, and then they staple those to the box so that they don't move in the box. Really good job of packaging them up. So I'm really excited about that. All right, let's get these things in the hives. So there are different methods to introduce a new queen. Everybody has their own. Here's the way I kind of like to do it. I like to open the hive, give it some smoke. Get this inner cover off. I always just take my inner covers off and prop them up on the front of the hive like that so the bees can crawl in. Smoke the hive really well. Let's get the scent mixed up in there. And then I take the new queen, and here she is in her cage. Still has the cork in the end. I haven't opened her up yet. And I'll just set that queen box up on top of the hive like that. And let's just give them a few minutes. I've already done the other 2, so let's walk over. This was the first one over here. Let's just walk over and give them a chance to smell her and to see how they're reacting. They're not balling her all up, which is a good sign. They're moving. If they weren't going to accept her, they'd have balled all up on that cage, and they'd be clenched onto that cage real tight, trying to get at her to kill her. So far this one looks pretty good. Let's go over here and check this one. You can see that they're checking her out, smelling her. You kind of just brush them a little bit, see? No, see, they're not clenched on. You can move them off of the box. So far so good. I'll let them sit there for a couple of minutes and make sure that it doesn't look like they're trying to kill her. They're just smelling her, they're checking her out, and then I'll actually introduce her into the hive. Let's go over here and check this one I just put on. Ow, sand spurs. I don't know what you guys have to put up with in your bee yard. Can you see that? See that? Those plants, those are sharp spines, those are seed heads. We call them sand spurs here. I don't know what everybody else calls them, but this whole bee yard is full of those things. It's almost impossible to come in here in a pair of shorts without wearing high boots anyway. Alright, everything was pretty good over here. They're just kind of checking her out, giving her a sniff. They're not balling all up on the cage. So I think everything's going to be okay. Some people might have to check the bottom of their shoes or their boots when they come out of their bee yard for any kind of animal manure or anything that they may have stepped in. When I come out of the bee yard, this is what I gotta take and scrape off of my boot before I can even put my foot in the car. Sand spurs. Any of you guys that live in a beachy area that have these things, you know exactly what I'm talking about. What a pain, literally and figuratively. Okay, once you've watched them long enough and felt comfortable that they're not trying to kill her, to introduce her into the hive is really simple. These cages come with 2 corks on each end, one cork on each end. There's 1 cork there, and there's 1 cork there that I've already taken out. Now you can see this end here has a bunch of candy, sugar candy in it, and that is the cork end that you want to take out if you want to slow release the queen into the hive, because it'll take them a couple of days to chew through that candy, and then they'll let her out that way. If you take that cork out, she'll be immediately released, and unless you're really super comfortable with the queen being accepted, that's not the way to do it. So at that point, you'll take the cork out where the candy is, put her on a frame with a rubber band. It's hard to do one-handed. Put her on a frame with a rubber band with that end up, the end that she's going to come out of. That way, if any of these attendants inside die before she gets out, they won't block the hole. So candy end up, rubber band her to a frame, and then all we're going to do, and I'm going to actually turn this frame around, all you do is stick that frame down in the hive, and you may need to give it a little bit of space. See if I can do this one-handed. Need to give it a little bit of space, but this one looks like it closed up pretty good because that was on an undrawn frame, which I just used because I had in this hive. So get the hive put back together, and we'll get the top back on them and come back in a couple of days and make sure that they have released that queen. Got to be careful this time of the year leaving the hive open like I did there for too long, because you don't want to start any kind of a robbing situation when there's not much of a flow going on. You open that hive up and expose that smell of honey, and that'll attract the other bees around. All right, just wanted to take this quick time to show you that I did get some queens in thanks to Barnyard Bees. And guys, look, I was really impressed. I've bought a queen from them before a couple years ago, and she did really well. I've been really impressed with the way that their stuff came in. If you guys need anything, give Barnyard Bees a chance. It's barnyardbees.com. I typically like to shop a little more local North Carolina companies. Brushy Mountain is who I usually buy my supplies from, but Barnyard Bees is who had the queens, and I'm really happy with the way they came. Check Barnyard Bees out on YouTube. David does a great job with the videos that he puts out. If you're looking for any information on especially how he does his nukes and how he feeds, open feeds pollen and nectar, that sort of stuff, give Barnyard Bees YouTube channel a chance. David really does a fantastic job with his videos. I've really enjoyed every one of them, and I've learned from every video he's ever put out. So look up Barnyard Bees on YouTube, barnyardbees.com website. If you need any kind of supplies, they've got everything that you need on the website, or give them a phone call. The phone number's on the website. Real helpful group of folks. A couple of times I've called them, they've jumped right on it. They've answered any questions that I've had, and the stuff got right out in the mail that day to me. So I've been really impressed with them. So give them a chance. Give them a look if you need to. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll let you know in a couple of days how these queens do and get them released. All right. Thanks for watching. God bless.